Chosen one, stop talking. Not because you are weak, not because you have nothing to say, not because your side does not matter. God is stopping your mouth because heaven has already started moving where your hands cannot reach. This is not the season to explain yourself to people who already decided not to understand you. This is not the hour to defend your name before people who only listen long enough to twist your words. Be still. Let God speak through what He is arranging. You have been tempted to answer. You have been tempted to prove. You have been tempted to send one more message, make one more call, clear one more misunderstanding. And every time you almost do it, something inside you feels a quiet warning to step back. That warning is not fear. That warning is not confusion. That warning is not weakness. It is the hand of God pulling you out of a battle that was never meant to be won with your mouth. Some battles are lost when you speak too soon. Listen carefully, chosen one. The move God is making will require your silence before it reveals your victory. You cannot carry old panic into a new position. You cannot let the version of you that was wounded keep negotiating with doors God already closed. You thought silence meant you had nothing left. You thought silence meant they won. You thought silence meant your voice had been taken from you. But heaven calls your silence position. Heaven calls your stillness agreement. Heaven calls your restraint trust. The reason this message feels personal is because you have been standing at the edge of reaction. Your heart has been hot. Your thoughts have been loud. Your body has been restless. And while you keep asking God what to do next, He keeps whispering the same thing. Do not move. Do not answer. Do not chase. Do not explain. Watch what I do. Those are not empty words. They are instructions for a chosen one who has been trained through pain to respond before peace has time to arrive. Something is happening behind the curtain. You cannot see all of it yet. You can only feel the pressure of it. You can feel doors trembling. You can feel your old life becoming too small for what God is about to release. This is why the pressure increased. This is why old voices returned. This is why people who ignored you suddenly started acting strange. When God begins to move a person into a new place, every old attachment tries to pull them back into noise. Do not fall for it. The trap is not always an attack. Sometimes the trap is an invitation to defend yourself. Sometimes the enemy does not need to destroy your blessing, because he only needs to make you speak from the wrong spirit. You know what that feels like. You say one thing from pain. You send one message from fear. You open one door through frustration, and before you know it, your peace is gone, your focus is broken, and your spirit feels heavy again. That is why God said, shut your mouth. Not to shame you, not to silence your value, not to make you invisible, but to protect what is being formed before your eyes can see it. There is a move being made for you now. It is not loud. It is not public yet. It does not need your announcement. It does not need your explanation. And it does not need you to convince anyone God already chose you. You have spent too much of your life trying to be understood by people who benefit from misunderstanding you. You kept shrinking your truth into smaller words, hoping they would finally hear your heart. But some people are not confused. They are committed to their version of you. So God is removing you from the courtroom. He is taking you out of the witness stand. He is ending the endless trial where you kept defending your motives to people who never had the authority to judge your calling. This is not about revenge. This is about order. This is not about proving them wrong. This is about letting God prove Himself faithful. There is a difference between wanting people exposed and wanting heaven to restore what confusion tried to steal. Your job right now is not to make them see. Your job is to remain where God placed you. Your job is to guard your peace. Your job is to let the move happen without dragging your old fear into the middle of it. Chosen one, your silence is not passive. It is spiritual discipline. It is the moment where your flesh wants to perform, but your spirit chooses obedience. And that kind of silence is louder in heaven than any argument on earth. There are people waiting for your reaction. They are listening for your anger. They are watching to see if the old version of you will appear again. But this time, something is different. You are not responding from the wound anymore. You are learning to watch. You are learning to breathe. You are learning to let the first wave of emotion pass before you make a decision. That is not weakness. That is mastery born from every season that almost broke you. God is not asking you to be silent because your voice is small. He is asking you to be silent because your voice is powerful. Words spoken from fear can create doors you later have to ask God to close. So pause. Let the anger pass. Let the need to prove pass. Let the hunger for immediate justice pass. What God is moving will not require you to beg for attention from people who could not recognize grace when it stood in front of them. This is the part many people miss. When heaven is moving quietly, the loudest test is usually internal. It is not the person provoking you. It is not the delay irritating you. It is the old urge to take control when trust feels too slow. But this time is different. God is not just changing what is around you. He is changing what rises inside you when pressure comes. He is teaching your nervous system to stop treating every silence as danger. That sentence matters. Your spirit may know God is working, but your body may still act like you are abandoned. Your heart may believe the promise, but your mind may still scan the room for threats, delays, betrayal, and rejection. This is where the real battle begins, not outside you, inside you. Because if your inner world is still trained by panic, even a divine move can feel like a threat before it feels like a gift. God is not only preparing the blessing, He is preparing the receiver. He is making sure the version of you who receives the next door will not sabotage it with the same fear that survived the last one. And there is something deeper here. Sometimes your spirit wants stillness, but your body is still broadcasting stress. Sometimes you say you trust God, but your mind keeps running back into the same loop of fear. That is not always a lack of faith. Sometimes it is a nervous system that learned survival too well. It keeps pushing you into reaction because stillness feels unfamiliar, even when stillness is exactly where God is calling you. So before the next move becomes visible, God is dealing with the signal inside you. He is teaching you to return to calm before you answer. He is teaching you to hear peace before you obey pressure. For now, hear this. Do not speak from fear. Do not answer from pain. Do not chase from panic. God is moving. Your silence is not empty. Your silence is the place where heaven is protecting what your hands could not control. And this is where you need to breathe. Because the silence you are in is not empty. It is full of movement. God does not always announce what He is building before He starts building it. Sometimes He hides the work until your heart is ready to carry the result. You kept asking why nothing changed. You kept looking for proof. You kept checking the same door, the same message, the same situation. But what looked still on the outside was not still in heaven. There was an arrangement happening beyond your view. Chosen one, God has been moving people without asking your permission. He has been shifting timing without explaining every detail. He has been closing access that your heart still wanted to keep open. And He has been protecting you from rooms where your gift would have been used, but never honored. That is why certain conversations stopped. That is why some invitations disappeared. That is why people became distant without warning. You thought you were being rejected. But sometimes rejection is the sound of God removing you before a hidden trap becomes visible. You do not need to chase what God is removing. You do not need to knock on doors He locked for mercy. You do not need to keep proving your heart to people who were only assigned to reveal where you no longer belong. There is a hidden arrangement over your life right now. It is quiet. It is exact. It is personal. And even though your flesh wants details, your spirit knows that God is too wise to show you everything before the timing is right. This is why you must not speak too soon. One premature word can reconnect you to a season God already finished. One emotional answer can reopen a door heaven was closing. And one fearful decision can make you doubt a move that was meant to bless you. God is not punishing you with silence. He is separating you with silence. He is letting the noise die so your discernment can return. Because when everything gets loud, you often mistake pressure for instruction and panic for urgency. But pressure is not always God. Urgency is not always truth. A loud opportunity is not always divine. Sometimes the most sacred instruction comes quietly, and it does not shout because it is not trying to compete with confusion. You are being trained to recognize peace, not excitement, not adrenaline, not the thrill of being wanted again. Peace, the kind of peace that does not need to explain itself because it carries the weight of heaven without begging for attention. This hidden arrangement is not just about people around you. It is about the version of you God is forming. You cannot be moved into a higher place while still carrying the reflexes of the lower one. You cannot enter rest while your body still worships alarm. That is why you have been feeling strange. One part of you knows something is coming. Another part still feels afraid to trust it. Your spirit can sense movement, but your mind keeps asking for evidence before your heart will finally exhale. God understands that. He is not angry at your trembling. He knows what you survived. He knows how many times you hoped, waited, and watched things fall apart. He knows why your body braces, even when your soul is trying to believe. But this time, He is not only changing the outcome, He is changing the way you wait. He is teaching you to stop treating every delay like abandonment, because delay in the hands of God can be preparation in disguise. You thought the silence meant no answer, but God was answering in a way your fear could not recognize yet. He was moving the wrong people out. He was slowing the wrong path down. He was letting your appetite for old validation weaken. There are things you wanted months ago that would now disturb your peace. There are people you begged God to restore who would now drain the oil from your lamp. There are doors you cried over that would have trapped the new version of you. So let God rearrange. Let Him remove. Let Him interrupt. Let Him delay what would damage you. And let Him bring what can stay. Because everything that arrives from heaven must match the person He is making you become. This is the place where many chosen ones miss the move. They believe God is only working when something visible happens. They believe the blessing begins when the door opens. But sometimes the blessing begins when your desire changes. Sometimes the miracle starts when you no longer crave the apology. Sometimes the shift begins when you stop needing them to admit what they did. Sometimes freedom enters quietly, because your heart no longer begs for a seat at the wrong table. That is why God said, "Shut your mouth and watch." Not because you are powerless, because your silence is the first sign that the old cycle is losing its grip. You are no longer feeding the same fire with your reaction. Now listen closely. There is a deeper layer to this hidden arrangement. Many people talk about faith, abundance, and divine timing, but they never deal with the state their mind is living in every day. They pray for open doors, while their nervous system is still locked in survival. When your mind is trapped in stress, you do not receive clearly. You react quickly. You assume danger. You overread silence. You chase answers. And even when God is arranging peace, your inner signal may still keep calling it uncertainty. That stress state is often connected to beta activity. In simple words, beta is the state where your mind keeps bracing. It is useful when you need to solve a problem, but it can become exhausting when your life is always lived from pressure. This matters because God can be leading you into stillness while your brain keeps pulling you back into alarm. Your spirit may say trust, but your body says hurry. Your faith may say wait, but your thoughts keep searching for threats. This is why I want to mention something carefully. The wealth signal is not magic. It is not a ritual. It is not a replacement for prayer, wisdom, or obedience. It is a simple 5-minute digital audio track made to support your mind in returning from stress into stillness. The idea is simple. When you listen with headphones, the audio is designed to help guide your brain away from the heavy beta stress state and toward a calmer alpha state. Alpha is connected with flow, receptivity, peace, and clearer inner attention. In spiritual language, you might call that alignment. In daily life, you might call it finally breathing again. It is the difference between forcing every door open and becoming quiet enough to notice which door God is actually unlocking. The wealth signal was connected with the work of Dr. Stephen Newton from Stanford. It is designed for only 5 minutes a day. That matters because many chosen ones are already tired, and they do not need another complicated routine added to their burden. You do not need to treat it like a miracle button. Treat it like a support tool, a small daily practice that helps your inner world stop broadcasting panic, so your decisions can come from peace instead of fear. The official access is in the pinned comment or description. The offer is $39, and it includes helpful bonuses like the quick cash flow blueprint, easy money habits, success stories, and affirmation support. There is also a 100% money-back promise. But hear this clearly. The point is not to chase money from fear. The point is to stop living from the blocked signal that makes you panic, force, and fight. When your inner world becomes calmer, you can recognize direction with more clarity. This fits the message because God is asking you to be still. And sometimes stillness needs practice. Sometimes your spirit is ready, but your body needs to learn that peace is safe. The wealth signal can become one simple way to practice that return. Chosen one, do not miss the deeper invitation. God is not only arranging people and opportunities. He is arranging your inner atmosphere. He is teaching you how to receive without grabbing, how to wait without collapsing, and how to watch without fear. That is why old chaos cannot follow you into this next place. The blessing may be close, but the old reaction cannot be allowed to drive it. God is not bringing you into more just, so panic can remain the ruler of your choices. Something is being placed in order. It may not look dramatic yet. It may not be visible to the people who doubted you, but beneath the surface, heaven is moving pieces with precision, and your silence is keeping you aligned with the movement. Do not run back to what is familiar, because the new thing is quiet. Do not call the hidden work absence. Do not call the waiting wasted. The seed is underground before it breaks the soil, and the promise is often hidden before it becomes undeniable. People may think nothing is happening because you are not announcing it. Let them think that. People may assume you lost because you stopped arguing. Let them assume that. You are not performing for people who cannot see beyond noise. You are standing in a sacred pause, and in that pause, God is correcting what your words could not fix. He is touching places your effort could not reach. He is building a result that will not need your defense when it finally appears. But there is one warning you must carry into the next part. When the reversal begins, the old version of you will want to speak. The old wound will want to celebrate too early. The old fear will want to explain what God has not finished revealing. Do not interrupt the move. Do not announce what is still being formed. Do not answer the bait that comes right before the breakthrough. Because the people who thought your silence meant defeat are about to see why God told you not to answer. Now the reversal begins quietly. It does not always begin with a loud door opening. It often begins with a strange peace you cannot explain. Something that used to trigger you no longer controls you, and that is the first sign that God has started moving. Chosen one, this is the part where you must stay awake, not anxious, awake. Because when God starts correcting what was wrong, the old version of you will want to speak too soon. It will want to announce, explain, warn, prove, and defend. Do not do it. Do not interrupt the move. Do not let the same mouth that cried from pain start speaking from pride. God is not raising you so you can become loud in the wrong spirit. He is raising you so you can witness with clean hands. The reversal you are entering is not revenge, it is order. It is God placing things back where they belong. You may feel the shift before you see it. You may notice people acting different. You may sense a door becoming warm again. You may feel your name moving through rooms you have not entered yet, and still God will say, "Keep quiet." That command is protection, because timing is fragile before it becomes visible. Your silence protects the timing. Your silence protects your peace. Your silence protects the blessing from the old need to perform. Not everything God is forming can survive being exposed to impatient eyes too early, and not every seed should be dug up just because your fear wants proof. Some people will return to test your new level. They may not come with an apology. They may come with curiosity. They may come with a small message, a fake concern, or a sudden interest in the life they once dismissed. Do not confuse their return with your instruction. Every person who circles back is not sent by God. Sometimes they are sent by the old cycle to see if you are still available for the same pattern, the same pain, and the same confusion. This is why discernment matters. You cannot let loneliness choose for you. You cannot let nostalgia decide for you. You cannot let one soft word erase a season of disrespect, because God did not heal you just to make you easier to reach. The reversal will expose what your arguments never could. Your peace will speak. Your distance will speak. Your growth will speak. Your new life will answer what your mouth cannot. There is power in not correcting every lie. There is power in not explaining every decision. There is power in letting people believe what they need to believe, while God prepares a result they cannot deny when it finally stands in the open. Truth carried by God does not need to fight for space. You have been waiting for words. God has been preparing evidence. You wanted a conversation. God was building a witness. You wanted them to understand your heart, but God wanted you to understand that their understanding was never the foundation of your calling. This is where freedom enters. You are not trapped in their opinion anymore. You are not trapped in their delay. You are not trapped in their apology. You are not trapped in their approval. God is moving you beyond the courtroom of human judgment, and heaven knows exactly where to place what belongs to you. But the test is this: can you stay silent when the first sign appears? Can you stay humble when the door opens? Can you stay clean when the ones who mocked you begin to notice that God did not forget you? This is not a small test, because visibility can awaken old wounds. Success can awaken old pride. A sudden opportunity can awaken the need to prove something to everyone who doubted you. That is why God trained you in hiddenness first. He let you survive seasons where no one clapped, so your obedience would not depend on being seen. That is why you must not speak from panic. Panic narrows your vision. Panic makes you worship the obvious. Panic convinces you that if one thing does not happen now, nothing good will happen at all. Let the route be hidden. Let the timing be hidden. Let the method be hidden. Faith does not need every detail before it obeys. Sometimes your obedience is simply not touching what God has not asked you to touch. The old you would have chased. The old you would have explained. The old you would have sent the message, forced the meeting, and called it faith. But the new you knows the difference between obedience and anxiety. This is the moment where heaven is watching your restraint, not to condemn you, not to test you cruelly, but to confirm that you can carry what you asked for without turning it into an idol, a weapon, or a performance. And yes, it may feel unfair. You may think, why must I be quiet when I was the one who was hurt? Why must I be still when I have proof? Why must I wait when I have carried this pain long enough? Because your next level cannot be built on the energy of your last wound. If God let you speak from that wound now, you might win the moment and lose the atmosphere He has been creating inside you. God is not just after your situation, He is after your spirit. He is healing what happened within you, so the next blessing does not enter a house still ruled by fear. This is why the reversal must not be interrupted. It is delicate. It is holy. It is precise. God is moving with wisdom that can see endings before your eyes can see beginnings. Let Him finish the sentence before you add your own words. Some of you are one reaction away from repeating an old cycle, one angry reply away, one emotional decision away. one desperate reach away. But you are also one act of silence away from proving that the old chain has finally broken. Choose silence, choose peace, choose the higher way. Not because they deserve your restraint, but because your future deserves an unbroken atmosphere. You are not protecting them. You are protecting what God is forming inside you. If you refuse the bait, you will keep the position. The move will not always look like what you imagined. Sometimes it will look like closure. Sometimes it will look like separation. Sometimes it will look like a new desire rising, where an old obsession finally died. That is still victory. Do not only call it blessing when someone returns. The reversal is not only around you, it is inside you. You are being reversed from panic to peace, from proving to trusting, from chasing to receiving, from noise to discernment. That inner move must happen before the outer move can bless you. The people who thought your silence meant defeat do not understand sacred timing. They saw quiet and assumed weakness. They saw restraint and assumed fear, but they did not see heaven placing fire under what looked like ashes. The ashes are not the end. The silence is not the end. God is not finished. When He moves fully, you will not need to explain the fire, because the light will speak for itself. Now carry this into the next shift. Do not interrupt what is being restored. God is moving around you, but now He must show you what He is moving inside you. The inner shift is where the real move becomes secure. God can open a door in one moment, but if your inner world is still ruled by fear, you may walk through it, carrying the same pressure that once broke your peace. That is why He is slowing you down before He lifts you higher. Chosen one, the outside move matters. The door matters. The answer matters. The opportunity matters. But the inner atmosphere matters too, because what you cannot hold in peace, you may try to control through panic. God is not just giving you more. He is teaching you how to remain steady when more arrives. This is why you have felt pulled into silence. Silence is not only about refusing to speak to people. It is about refusing to let fear speak inside you. It is about noticing the first voice that rises when pressure comes, then choosing not to obey it if it comes from alarm. The old voice is familiar. It says, hurry. It says, answer now. It says, fix this before everything falls apart. It says, if you do not act immediately, you will lose what God promised. But that voice is not always discernment. Many times, it is survival, wearing the mask of urgency. The new voice is quieter. It does not panic. It does not beg. It does not need 10 signs before it obeys one instruction. It carries peace with authority, and it asks you to move slowly enough for wisdom to catch up with your emotions. This is the inner shift. You are moving from reaction to recognition. You are moving from noise to discernment. You are moving from proving to resting. And the more this shift settles inside you, the less power the old chaos will have over your decisions. Watch the signs. You will notice that you do not answer as quickly. You will feel the emotion rise, but you will not hand it the steering wheel. You will hear the accusation, but you will not rush to defend yourself like your future depends on their opinion. You must learn the difference between a divine burden and an anxious pull. A divine burden brings weight, but it also brings clarity. An anxious pull brings pressure, but it scatters your peace. One leads you into obedience, the other drags you into control. So before you respond, breathe. Before you decide, wait. Before you chase, ask what spirit is leading you. If the answer is fear, pause. If the answer is pride, pause. If the answer is desperation, pause until peace has room to speak. God is not asking you to become passive. He is asking you to become governed. There is a difference. Passive people avoid responsibility, but governed people move only when the signal is clean. They do not let every emotion become an instruction. This is why silence is training. It trains your mouth. It trains your mind. It trains your nervous system. It trains your desires. It teaches you that every feeling is not a command, and every opportunity is not a door from God. And this is why the practice of stillness matters. If your mind keeps dragging you back into panic, you need a way to return. Not once, not only when everything breaks. Daily, gently, consistently. You need to teach your inner world that quiet does not mean danger. This is why I mentioned the wealth signal earlier. Not because an audio track replaces faith, not because it forces heaven to move, not because it is magic, but because it can become a simple support tool for the part of you that still struggles to settle. For 5 minutes a day, with headphones, you allow your mind to step away from the heavy stress state and move toward a calmer alpha state. Think of it as a small practice of returning from panic, returning from pressure, returning from the old signal that kept you braced for pain. When your inner signal becomes calmer, your choices become cleaner. You do not chase as fast. You do not assume rejection as quickly. You do not mistake delay for denial as easily. And you give God more room to lead without fighting Him every step of the way. Use it with wisdom. Use it as support. Use it as a daily reminder that peace is not weakness and stillness is not surrender. If it helps you practice calm, then let it become part of the quiet place where you stop reacting and start receiving. The official access is in the pinned comment or description. Do not approach it from fear, approach it from alignment. Let it serve the message God is already speaking over you, that your next move must not come from panic, but from peace. Now return to the main instruction. God said, watch. Watching is not laziness. Watching is spiritual attention. It means you stay awake without becoming frantic. It means you observe patterns without becoming obsessed. It means you let heaven reveal what your anxiety cannot force open. Watch who tries to pull you back into noise. Watch which doors open with peace. Watch which opportunities require you to betray your calm. Watch what leaves without your chasing it. Watch what remains when you stop performing. You are not behind, you are being refined. You are not missing the move. You are being trained to receive it correctly. The person you are becoming cannot be led by the same panic that once made you over-explain, overgive, overthink, and overstay. Let that become your strength. Let silence become your shelter. Let peace become your proof. When something is from God, it will not require you to abandon your inner witness. It may stretch you, but it will not demand that you become false to keep it. So do not measure by comfort alone. Measure by alignment. Measure by fruit. Measure by the quiet knowing that remains after emotion has settled. If the pressure is loud but peace is absent, wait. If peace is quiet but steady, listen. Chosen one. This is how you stop interrupting the move. You stop letting sudden emotions lead permanent decisions. You stop letting old pain choose new doors. You stop letting people who broke your peace become the voice that defines your next step. You are entering a different rhythm, slower but stronger, quieter but clearer, hidden but protected. And once this rhythm settles inside you, what God is arranging outside you will finally have a steady place to land. So let the inner shift complete its work. Let God quiet what has been screaming. Let Him heal what has been bracing. Let Him teach you to receive without grabbing, wait without collapsing, and move without fear. Because when this inner shift locks into place, the outside move will not require you to force it, chase it, or beg for it. You will recognize it by peace. You will receive it with steadiness. And you will know that the silence was never empty. Chosen one. Now you understand why the silence was necessary. God was not ignoring you. He was positioning you. He was not withholding love. He was protecting timing. And now, the thing that felt like punishment is becoming the place where your peace finally returns. You were not silent because you had nothing to say. You were silent because heaven was speaking in places your words could not enter. You were silent because God was building evidence where arguments had failed. The next move needed purity, not panic. This is what will leave you speechless. It will not only be the door that opens, It will not only be the answer that arrives, it will be the realization that God was working while you thought nothing was happening, and every quiet day was carrying hidden purpose. You will look back and see it differently. The delay was not empty. The closed door was not cruelty. The unanswered message was not abandonment. God was cutting the cords that kept your future tied to people who could not honor your becoming. Breathe. You do not have to prove anything. You do not have to chase anyone. You do not have to force a conversation with someone who only hears what confirms their judgment. Let the old courtroom close. You are not on trial anymore. The people who misunderstood you are not your judge. The people who left you are not your source. The people who delayed you are not your destiny. God is not asking you to hate them. He is asking you to stop handing them the pen that writes your peace. You are becoming a silent witness. You are the one heaven defended quietly. You are the one who did not interrupt the move. You are the one who learned to stand still while God corrected what your hands could not reach. And now the fruit is coming. Not always the way you planned. Not always through the people you expected. Not always in the timing your fear demanded. But it is coming with a weight that will make you understand why God asked you to wait. Some doors will open without you begging. Some answers will arrive without you forcing. Some people will reveal themselves without you exposing them. Some opportunities will find you because heaven knows how to locate a prepared person at the appointed time. This is why you must stay steady. The blessing does not need the old version of you to manage it. The blessing needs the healed version, the quiet version, the version that can receive without turning every gift into a reason to perform. Do not become loud now. Do not become careless now. Do not explain every movement to people who have not earned access to your inner life. Some things grow better under holy covering, because sacred formation is not meant for impatient eyes. This is your turning point. Not because everything outside is perfect, but because something inside you has changed. You can feel the trigger and not obey it. You can hear the noise and not enter it. You can sense the pressure and still choose peace. That is the proof of the move. Not just money, not just recognition, not just one door opening. The proof is that the old chain is losing power, and the part of you that once panicked is learning how to rest under the hand of God. Now understand this. The abundance God is bringing must meet a calmer version of you. If fear remains the ruler, even increase can feel dangerous. If panic remains the voice, even opportunity can become another battlefield. This is why your inner signal matters. If you keep living in stress, every blessing may look like another problem to solve. But when you return to stillness, you begin to recognize what is aligned, what is forced, what is safe, and what must be released. That is why I want you to take action with wisdom. If this message found you in a season where God is asking you to stop reacting, stop chasing, and return to stillness, use the official link in the pinned comment or description to access the wealth signal. Listen with headphones for 5 minutes a day. Let it become a small daily practice of returning from stress into calm. It is not magic. It is not a replacement for faith. It is a support tool for the part of you learning to stop living from panic. The wealth signal is connected with the work of Dr. Stephen Newton from Stanford. It is designed to help guide the mind away from the heavy beta stress state and toward a calmer alpha state, where flow, receptivity, and inner quiet become easier to practice. The offer is $39, with bonus guides and a 100% money-back promise. But do not approach it like desperation. Approach it like alignment. Approach it like a chosen one who is ready to stop broadcasting fear and start practicing peace. Use the official link in the pinned comment or description. Start today if your spirit knows this is for you. Not because you are chasing a miracle, but because you are creating space for the stillness God has already been calling you into. Now come back to the word over your life. God said, "Shut your mouth and watch this." Watch does not mean freeze in fear. Watch means trust with open eyes. Watch means stop controlling every outcome and start noticing what heaven is already arranging. Watch how peace returns when you refuse the bait. Watch how strength returns when you stop over-explaining. Watch how doors feel different when you are no longer begging to be chosen by people who were never assigned to carry your future. Watch how your desires change. Watch how your standards rise. Watch how your discernment sharpens. Watch how silence becomes less frightening, because you finally understand that quiet is not the absence of God. Quiet is often the room where He does His deepest work. You are not who you were when this began. The old version needed immediate proof. The old version needed everyone to understand. The old version needed to respond quickly to feel safe. But the new version can wait without collapsing. The new version can receive without grabbing. The new version can be misunderstood without losing identity. The new version can stay silent because it knows heaven has not forgotten its name. That is the person God has been forming. So let this settle in your spirit. You are not abandoned. You are arranged. You are not defeated. You are positioned. You are not invisible. You are covered. You are not losing time. You are being aligned with the appointed moment. This is the speechless moment when you realize the move was bigger than one answer. It was bigger than one person. It was bigger than one door. God was not only changing your situation, He was changing the one who would carry the blessing. So say this within your heart. I will not interrupt what God is moving. I will not speak from panic. I will not chase what God is removing. I will not reopen what heaven has closed. I will stand still and watch what God completes. Chosen one, heaven heard you, God saw you. The tears were not wasted. The waiting was not wasted. The silence was not wasted. The hidden season was not empty, and the move that is coming will prove that grace was working the whole time. So shut your mouth in the sacred way, not from fear, not from shame, not from defeat, but from trust. Watch carefully, walk slowly, listen deeply. God is making a move, and this time you will not interrupt it.